everybody, and welcome back to the show. I'm your host, James. Alongside me always, his name is...
I'm Andy.
And we're glad you're joining us as we all become legend of the nerds. What's up, Andy?
Well, what's up? I'm playing the Pokemon app
Playing the
right
Pokemon
now.
app.
I'll shut it off for the show, though, but heads up, I did just get myself my Nidoking, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah?
It took me a while.
You've been binge playing that game lately, huh?
It's been literally my number one thing to do.
It's a great app. It's a great
I do
app.
cheat a little bit, because I drive around sometimes.
Well, cheating's fine.
Well,
it's when you get the app that tells you where all the Pokemon are.
Yeah, the map.
That's cheating.
Technically, though, they have it because where if you're driving around it, let's say you're going too fast, so you have to say you're a passenger. So literally, because it's in kilometers, which is...
What you want to do is just drive underneath 20, and you're fine.
You can't really do that when you're on the interstate. But no, it's like, so when you do that, it cuts your walking distance by like 4. So it's only like a quarter of everything, so it takes a lot longer. But I told you the good news of my first 10-kilometer egg that hatched. I got myself a pincer, which you were really irritated about.
Well, last time I hatched a 10-kilometer egg, I got myself an Eevee.
And because there's so many ghosts around. But we'll shut it off for right now.
All right.
I had to do a double check.
It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you. What's new? Besides your binge Pokemon playing.
Oh, God, there was something I had to say, and I totally forgot.
You forgot what you had to say.
I need to write it down. I mean, all these notes I have, and I totally forgot.
Always have a note. That's why I always have notes right in front of me. But you know what? We can always get back to it later, right? We have a giant show ahead of us.
Things will click once in a while.
They always do.
But why don't you mention, too, we're also Facebook Live.
We are Facebook Live today.
Second time.
Second time. First time, I tried it out on my personal Facebook. Now, we're going live every time right on the Legend Nerds Facebook page.
And I want to mention, too, this is, because we never say what episode we're taping. This is officially episode 42.
Should we start doing that?
We should, because this is episode 42, and we're getting to that 50, which for us is a milestone.
Episode 42. We're doing our live Facebook chats right now. And so now we can take questions. Anytime you guys have questions or watching us, hit me up. I'll talk to Andy. We're going to answer these questions as much as we can.
It'll be great because episode 50, I've looked on the schedule, is I believe will be the first episode of season 3 for us, which will be the Nerdy Awards. So it's kind of a neat place for 50 to air.
Season 3, when can you buy your box sets?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out sooner than later.
All right.
Let's get back to the show.
Let's get back to the show. Let's get back to the checklist. We love our checklist, Andy. Wrestling talk. Let's do it.
So excited.
There's a lot going on in the wrestling world today.
So excited. I didn't even write anything down for Lucha or TNA because things did happen, but they're not in comparison to what's going on in WWE.
Huge stuff going on in WWE now.
The big thing I'll get to last. We'll get that to the end. I want to talk a little Hell in the Cell. It's coming up in 2 weeks.
Okay. Let's get a single on you.
It's October 30th. We'll end up watching it, though, on Halloween, which will be great. What a great pay-per-view name for Halloween. But we've got 5 matches right now announced for it. We have the Cruiserweight title, TJ Perkins, which I am loving this Cruiserweight.
I've seen him wrestle once. He was really impressive.
He's got, like, the video game entrance and everything. Yep. That is awesome. Against Brian Kendrick, gets his rematch. Then we have the New Day versus... You'll get a kick out of this tag team. Okay. Cesaro and Sheamus. Now remember,
I've heard about this tag team.
Remember the whole Best of 7 series?
Yep.
And it came to a no contest on the match 7.
Yeah.
So apparently, what Foley said was, whoever wins gets a championship match. Well, they both technically won and lost. So he decides you'll still get your title match. It's just as a tag team. So they're kind of doing this whole rock and sock thing. Foley's kind of giving them hints to.
Of course he is.
And they get a title shot at Hell in a Cell against the New Day. Which, let me tell you this, New Day, they are coming in on Demolition's record for holding the tag team championships. Demolition had it for 478 days. New Day's at 420 as we speak. Do you see them hitting or breaking Demolition's record? They need to hold it for 59 more days to break Demolition's record.
59 more days.
It's like it's 2 months.
I see it happening. Why not?
I do and I don't.
I mean, think about it. New Day came out as this, like, gag tag team.
Yeah.
But they really caught on with the crowd. So they're going to keep that rolling, I think.
Well, this is where I see it happening, and then I don't see it happening. Where I see it happening is WWE this past year, or last year too, is kind of doing the let's break some records kind of thing. Where Nikki Bella held the Divas title, even though to me, the Divas title and all the women's championships should all be the same. It's a women's title. But technically, she held the Divas title for the longest reign.
Which is lame.
Okay,
but
which
whatever.
is lame.
Yep.
So maybe they're going to do this with New Day kind of thing, because technically New Day's held the WWE tag team titles the longest, but not in
Not
the brand.
the longest,
in the brand. So where I could see it not happening, I could see Cesaro and Sheamus winning, because they're trying to push these guys together all of a sudden.
You know, they say the best tag team are two rivals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes the best tag team. So they could do it.
Good. The next,
But do we want to see them do it, though? That's the question.
no, I don't want to see them as.
We don't want to see
no.
them.
The next 3 matches out of these 5 are all, and we are complaining about this. The last couple pay-per-views, there have not been stipulation matches.
No stipulations.
You have a pay-per-view named Hell in a Cell. Technically, all the matches should be inside it.
Yeah.
But we're getting 3. We've never had 3. And one of them, we've never had this type of Hell in a Cell, which is for the Women's Championship. Sasha Banks and Charlotte are going to fight inside Hell in a Cell.
Do you think it's going to make any difference? At all?
I hope
mean,
so.
we've seen the women wrestle in a cage before.
I'm hoping, because Charlotte and Sasha actually play well off each other in matches.
yeah, of course.
Technically, they play well off each other on Raws. They haven't really shown that to me on pay-per-views, but it's kind of that neat thing. At least we're getting that match. I mean, we had a women's match years ago inside a steel cage for the first time.
Yep.
And it was pretty good. I think it was Victoria at the time versus, I don't remember, but still. Next was the first match announced, which is the U.S. title, Rusev versus Reigns.
Yeah.
Kind of excited for it.
That's going to be in the cell.
Yeah, that's in the cell also. Reigns, though, last year he had a cell match, and I didn't really care for it. So I'm hoping I don't get a repeat.
Right. I mean, Reigns is getting better. They're finding a ground for him finally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because last year they're pushing for him to become the champion, and he's obviously not ready for that yet. But where he is at right now, it's perfect for him.
Yeah, because
Perfect
as
fit.
champion, he's getting a lot of the boos.
Yep.
But as U.S. champion, he's getting a lot of cheers.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it plays on because a lot of people hate Rusev.
Right.
So I'm hoping it's a good match. Problem is, I don't think Rusev's that good.
No.
I mean, he's getting a little better, I think, because with the whole rivalry with Reigns. But Rusev doesn't, to me, care less. But I'm excited. It's in a cell. Last cell match, world title. Seth Rollins gets his rematch against Kevin Owens. The best part about this match, though, is this past Monday night, Jericho was given a stipulation in his match against Seth Rollins. If he won, it'd be a triple threat. Do you know the results of that match? What happened?
I did not catch the results of that match.
Seth won.
Seth won.
I
He
actually
decided.
I was surprised. I was really surprised. Because there goes Green Arrow. The thing with the match was
Get them back up there.
I don't know, the comics just don't stand up. That's the problem.
It's fine. We're good.
The
Get him going
The
again.
reason I thought Seth was going to lose is because I really thought they were going to push this whole triple threat match. Because Jericho, as we know, probably will be leaving the company at the end of Hell in a Cell because he's got his Fozzy tour and
Yep.
album coming out. So that's the best way to break up the Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho bromance going on.
Yeah, of course.
But it didn't happen. But it could still. Stephanie could maybe in the next 2 weeks do something.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah. So, but 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
See how this sells?
I mean, I'm excited. So
Hopefully it's a good pay-per-view.
it needs, thing is, this pay-per-view needs to be amazing because the next one is one of the big fours, but you and I really don't consider it a big four
Well,
anymore.
let's talk about Survivor Series for a second because a match was actually announced for Survivor Series.
3 matches.
Yeah, but we're talking about the big one though. This is the big one though. I'm not sure if it's even announced officially yet.
It has not
or
been,
what.
It has not been
But
announced.
let's talk about the rumor of it though.
Okay.
I'm talking about Goldberg
Goldberg.
versus Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
That's been flying around
This
everywhere.
all began. We all know. We've all had our speculations.
Yeah.
You can even talk. We talked to Armin at Comic-Con, and he
Yep.
even stated the same thing at WrestleMania. He thinks it's going to happen. We got Goldberg, I think, a week and a half ago on Sports Center with Jonathan Coachman, which I'm loving. Sports Center now doing WWE highlights.
It's real nice.
It's awesome. It's a nice little touch. He had an interview with Goldberg, And Goldberg stated, he showed off the game and everything, and he did rip on Brock a lot, but he even said, I don't owe Brock a rematch.
Right.
But he said, hey, if he wants it, I'll beat him up again. And he has even stated that he wants to show his son. His son's only seen his matches on like the network probably and stuff like that, or on TV. And he likes the video game because his son gets to use him as he would call a superhero. So he'd love to be able to let his son watch him live as a so-called superhero.
Yeah.
So that was a little Easter egg hint on SportsCenter that he's probably coming back. Did not see it coming this soon. Couple days later, last week's Raw, Paul Heyman comes out ripping on Goldberg and stating that Brock wants a match against Goldberg. What I hate about this is Brock needs to get his butt off the couch, go to Raw, and confront Goldberg face-to-face tonight on Raw. Or the week before, he should have been the one calling out Goldberg.
But here's...
Because I'm part-time, I can't go and even call out Goldberg?
The way I heard that, all that, but I got it on the Twitter.
Yep.
Because Goldberg put it on Twitter that he's going to be at Monday Night Raw tonight
they
to
showed
give Lesnar and Heyman his
answer. They showed it towards the end of last week's Raw on the episode.
Yep.
So, but my problem is Brock should have been there to do the call out last week and needs to be there this week.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're part-time. You know what? If you're trying to hype up this big of a match, then you need to get your butt there. But no, I'm part-time.
Even The Rock made a better effort than to hype up a match.
Yeah, look at the whole him and Cena thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they were there face-to-face kind of thing. Brock doesn't...
Either they're face-to-face or a lot of social media videos. You know, happen between those two.
To me, it just tells me Brock doesn't care what's going on. He's just there for the money.
Right.
And he kind of has stated it on his SportsCenter a couple years ago.
Kind of, yeah.
He's like, I get a lot of money for not having to do much work. That doesn't tell me, it tells me you don't care. And if you're not caring, I don't want to see you. I don't know why everyone is so hyped up over Brock Lesnar. He's worthless. I liked him when he was young, like he was 20 years old in the business. I enjoyed him. Now, he's just a crap of you-know-what.
Right. You're heated about this.
Oh, I'm...
Heated. He's heated over this.
This is like when we talk about Green Lantern.
Yes.
So...
Exactly. What else in the world of wrestling do we have? Is that it?
That's my big thing. I'm excited for tonight's Raw because Goldberg does return. I know a lot of people don't like Goldberg, but it's something that's neat. I mean, we got it right here, right in the middle. WrestleMania 20 was the last time Goldberg and Brock met each other. So this will be the next WrestleMania if they meet there, let's just say. That'll be 33, so that's 13 years.
Yep.
My best thing about that one, though, was Austin was the special guest referee, and he did a Stone Cold Stunner to Brock, and then Brock ran crying with his tail between his legs, and we never saw him again for a good 10 years.
Good for him. All right, so that wraps up our wrestling segment. Let's jump right into Box Office Heroes.
I remember now.
You remember now.
I wrote it down, too. It was another little WWE thing. You'll like this.
Okay.
Sorry. We got a lot of WWE here. Apparently, I read an article that WWE writers now, we've always heard about, when Cena being heel, da-da-da-da-da. Apparently, it's on the books for Cena to be turning heel. The writers are writing storylines.
Hold on. Folks, we gotta see this one more time out of the horse's mouth.
I'm gonna cry.
Let's do it. What was that again?
The writers are writing storylines for Cena to turn heel. Don't do it. I don't want to see it happen. I know you do. Let's look at the grin on your face.
I think it's a fantastic thing. It needs to happen.
So apparently it's not going to happen right off. Because they still want Cena to have his WWE title match against AJ.
Yep.
And AJ right now is the heel. So that's going to happen. After Survivor Series happens, Cena's going to be on a break. Probably like a month break.
Okay.
Because on Fox, he has his TV show going into season 2 called True Grit.
Yes, he does.
So he's got to film that after Survivor Series. There's also talk about Cena having a match at Mania against Taker, which we've heard might have happened last year too.
Right.
So that might get pushed to this year. So if it does happen, it'll probably happen, I'm guessing, sometime after WrestleMania. So
okay, fair enough.
It's not going to happen right off.
So probably 1 year from now.
This is one of those things you kind of have to ease into.
You gotta ease that in there. It's huge. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta ease it in there.
So that's it for wrestling. We got that.
All right. The John Cena heel.
Oh, I will cry.
Oh, that's exciting.
I will cry a river of tears if that happens. Oh.
All right. I wish I had the theme music for the box office heroes. Not yet, though. We're working on it. Andy, I got the top 3 on my screen.
Yes.
I'm not sure how much research you did on this, but hit me up. What do you got?
So I when I do my research, I don't look at the numbers because then obviously I'd be able to tell you.
Of course.
So I just look at what movies have come out and what I've seen, how well they did with trailers and stuff like that. So I've got 4 movies. I'm just going to tell you my 4 movies real quick. I've got The Girl on the Train.
All right.
Max Steel. The Accountant. And that one that was on the top 3, the last show, that Peculiar Children movie, whatever it's called. So I'm going with that one, though, as my number 3.
Okay.
My number 2, I'm going Max Steel.
All right.
And my number 1, Ben Affleck's movie, The Accountant.
You're close.
Oh, one of these days I'll get them all right.
So, number 3, Girl on a Train.
Makes sense.
Came in at, now, here's where it's tough.
Emily Blunt's movie.
Came in at 11 million. 900,000. Number 2, Kevin Hart. What now?
I wanted to put that down, but I didn't think it'd make that much money.
It beat Girl on a Train
Oh my god.
by 10,000.
I wanted to put it down too, even though I don't care for it, but I'm like, really? Is a comedy... No, it's not even a movie. All it is...
It's his stand-up.
Yeah, it's just his stand-up.
His stand-up.
Yeah. I did not think it'd make that much. I know he's popular, but...
11 million.
Wow.
And you were right on the number 1.
The Accountant.
The Accountant came in at 24 million.
Go Ben Affleck.
Now, the last episode we talked a little bit about the low numbers at the box office.
Yes.
As you remember. We're seeing it again. And it seems to be a trend right now in Hollywood this time of year.
Yeah, well,
What time of year do you expect to see the 24 million jump up to that 80 million, 100 million that we're used to seeing?
It's going to happen in the next couple months. We've talked about this. When we talk about each season, winter, spring, fall, summer, all that, and we do our movies you need to see each month.
Yep.
It shows. Our fall episode, if everyone remembers watching a couple weeks ago, there wasn't that big of a list of movies to go see this fall that we talked about. It's usually the end of spring into summer. That's when you get a lot. And I see it happening probably at the end of the year, coming up now into winter. There's some big ones coming out. Doctor Strange is coming out. The final chapter of the Resident Evil movies, even though some people don't care for them, they are popular. I see XXX3 doing big numbers.
I think I see the number jumping mid to end November. I think we're going to start seeing the numbers jump up high.
We also have the prequel to Harry Potter coming out.
Yeah.
That movie's going to go through
Look at this. For the last leg of the month here, we have a movie called 31 coming out with Malcolm McDowell. The new Jack Reacher movie's coming out.
Yep, that'll do good.
With Tom Cruise. Inferno's coming out with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, the final chapter in the Da Vinci Code saga.
Yep. So those are just a preview of a few things coming out. Do we see a lot of high numbers here? Maybe Jack Reacher might make 30 million. Maybe. I don't know what your prediction is on that.
I think Inferno's going to do really good because Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons are wicked popular. Inferno being the final chapter is going to go. I see that. God, opening weekend, 10 million.
I mean, do we look at the title itself or the actors in the movie itself?
It's the title.
Because, I mean, Malcolm McDowell, that guy's phenomenal. I love his work. Then you have Tom Cruise coming out with Jack Reacher.
Yeah, but
and Tom Hanks just came out with Sully. You know, so are we going to rush back to see another Tom Hanks movie so soon?
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. There's also, I really see doing well Ouija 2, the second Ouija movie.
That comes out
WWE Studios.
in this month, too.
I don't see it doing great numbers, like amazing, but that's a Halloween type movie, a spook movie, which we'll go over on our next show.
Yep.
Around Halloween.
Yeah.
So horror movies in October usually tend to do well.
Hopefully.
So.
Because I mean, when I do my list, Andy, I look at a certain website every time, the same website.
Yep.
And they do from top 10 or the one all the way down to number 53 on the list.
Okay.
And I find it weird that the 53rd movie made $1,000 in the box office. So that's how descriptive this website is, you know. And I get a lot of information from this one website.
I personally believe, too, you have to look at when a movie comes out, because things that come out in December might not do as well, because what's in December?
Exactly.
Christmas.
Yeah.
You're kind of deciding where you're going to spend your money. And we have stated it's expensive to go to the movies compared to the drive-in, for instance.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, hopefully you see the numbers jump up high soon, right? Let's take a break from the big screen, jump to the small screen. I wanted to bring this up the last episode when we covered Luke Cage. I forgot all about it. I don't know how I forgot all about it, but I just remembered, so I wrote it down now. And I'm talking about a little Easter egg in one of the episodes when you see a thug unloading crates into a van.
okay.
And on that crate said Hammer Tech. So I've been thinking, does that mean we're going to see Justin Hammer come back to the small screen? And perhaps maybe Justin Hammer will be a small villain in the Defender series.
Could be.
I'm not sure what you think of that, what you make of that.
It could happen, but we've seen a lot of these little Easter eggs in the Netflix Marvel universe that are just kind of there for little giggles, kind of.
Think so?
In Jessica Jones, when you're watching the entrance theme with the title and
Yeah.
all that stuff, it shows Avengers Tower in the background, which a lot of people thought that means the Avengers Defenders merge. But it's been stated really that probably might not happen.
I just read an article that said actually they show up in the Infinity War movie.
We could go on about Infinity Wars. I really think they're
could.
putting too many people in.
I think so too.
To me, Infinity Wars, getting off subject here, needs to be the final installment of the main Avengers.
Yep.
And then in the next phases, we're getting away from the main guys and into all these other guys. So, to me, it should be the core Avengers. But
I think I would love to see Justin Hammer on the small screen.
well, we've seen him in a
I
cameo.
mean, Sam Rockwell is just such a phenomenal actor. He took the character of Justin Hammer and he brought it to life in a great way.
He made a cameo, I believe, in not Iron Man 3, but the little kind of not spin-off, but mini movie.
Yeah, in jail.
Yeah, in jail with
The Mandarin.
yeah,
Yeah.
or so-called Mandarin.
So-called Mandarin, yeah. Which I hope they kind of do something more about that, too.
I doubt it.
I mean, I heard Robert Downey Jr. was considering doing an Iron Man 4.
That's what I
to
keep
do
seeing.
a lot of to tie up a lot of loose ends.
I mean, I've even seen a poster for it out there. I mean,
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, with that. Any news on your side?
not off my side right now.
Nothing, huh?
Nothing off the top of my head.
All right. Well, let's jump into our favorite topic,
The main event.
the main event, the Flarrowverse, which is started off 2 weeks ago
Yes.
in a big way,
oh,
and last week, all four shows jumped on air, and wow, what a long week it was.
oh, yeah, but it's a great week.
It was a great week.
So.
Let's start with week one, with Flash.
Flash.
What'd you think? Episode titled
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
I was really excited. I liked what I saw, but I even told you I was a little upset because I wanted to see this whole Flashpoint, this new universe he made, this new timeline, a little more than one episode, which, like you stated, well, it's kind of happening because he's changed his timeline, his
Yes.
real timeline. But I kind of wanted to see at least one more episode, maybe two, of this new universe he made with him losing his memories, but
Right.
not that fast. I wanted to see a little bit more of that. I mean, maybe we're going to get it. I don't know. I wanted to see a little bit more of Kid Flash teaming with the Flash kind of thing. We might get it. We don't know yet. So that's the thing. And for me, I kind of thought in his Flashpoint universe, he wouldn't have his powers, but he did.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted him not to.
You want not to?
Yeah, because I'm thinking, well, how did you... If you changed literally everything in the timeline like he did, would he really have been in his lab during the thunderstorm?
Huh. Very fascinating thought. They could have done a lot of weird stuff with it. They really could have. But as you know, the episode began 3 months after season 2 ended. He is now living. He, as in Barry Allen, now living with both his parents,
Yes.
having the time of his life, huh? One of my favorite parts of this one is when his parents look at him and be like, Barry, our neighbor has a basement for rent. You should get out.
Yes. Here's the other thing I just thought of too when you said both his parents. So I take it Zoom never came to his world and killed his father either?
The whole universe changed.
Everything changed. So yeah, I mean it is weird. It is nice though to see his whole family together kind of thing.
That was an awesome part. Another adorable part in the episode was you finally really get to see that moment when Barry talks to Iris the first time.
Yes, because being the fact his parents didn't die, he never moved in with Joe and Iris.
Right.
And they went to school together, but because he was so scared to talk to her, she's kind of like, oh, your name is Harry or something like that, she calls him. But yeah, so he's finally gotten up the courage to ask her out.
It's definitely an adorable scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And you already mentioned it once, but I mentioned it again, seeing Wally West in that Kid Flash outfit.
Exactly. I think it's funny that he kind of doesn't know that it's Wally in there yet, but it's one of those things it's like, oh, we know who it is. Kinda.
Right, yeah.
The other big thing in this is the difference in all the characters, though.
Yep.
In this episode. You've got Caitlin. She's never worked for
Star Labs at all.
Star Labs. Cisco is a billionaire and he owns Star Labs.
Yep.
You've got Iris, who in Barry's timeline forgave Joe for never telling her that her mother's still alive. But in this, she hates Joe for not doing it.
Yep.
And Iris knows about Wally being Kid Flash.
Yes.
Who he's just calling himself Flash, but they end up calling him Kid Flash, which I think's hilarious that he doesn't want to be called that.
That's so great.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of changes that go on in this.
Yep, and one of the biggest parts of this episode is when Thawne told Barry, you're going to beg me to kill your mother.
I think
that's when the episode went from like, what to what?
And it's Thawne who actually called that world Flashpoint.
Yeah, it was.
But, yeah, it was amazing. The memory loss thing was the kicker for me. Because I thought to myself, what's going to happen in this? Because when Barry does time travel, there's always the Wraiths that go after him. So we were going to see that again. What were we going to see?
We still might.
For me, the villain was kind of I didn't really understand the rival.
The rival. Yeah.
Edward. What's his name? Claris. Edward Claris is his name.
Edward Claris. Yep.
Yeah. Now, do you know if this is from the comics, maybe, or
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
He was a weird-looking villain. He's a speedster also, but his getup was...
How many speedsters are we going to get? I mean, it seems like there's always a new speedster coming.
Yeah. Well, I know in the comics, so you do have Barry, and there's all the different Barrys.
Yeah.
You do have Kid Flash. You do have Zoom.
Yep.
He is from the comics. You do have Reverse Flash.
Jessica Speed, yeah.
Jessica Speed. Jessica Quick. Jesse Quick.
Jesse Quick.
Yeah. So the rival to me, I just didn't understand it.
I think it's just me a random, like, maybe 2 to 4 episode villain, you know?
What was weird,
until, the huge villain comes out.
What I'm getting by weird is his mask, which had the spikes kind of on top, and even his lightning bolt was weird.
Right.
I mean, everything was Flash pointy, I guess.
Which makes sense, right?
So, let's get into how it ends, though.
Yes, let's do that.
Barry finds out that Wally is Kid Flash, and Iris is helping him. He decides to team up to take out the rival, and unfortunately, the rival spears Wally, and doesn't kill him showing it, but he is dying.
Yes.
So, has a fight against Barry and the rival, and just as the rival, I think, is about to kill Barry, Joe shoots him, kills the rival.
Absolutely.
And it does come down to he decides that Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, is right. I gotta set everything right because things here are going haywire and I'm losing my memories. But what's funny is he's not just losing his memories, he's losing his speed in Flashpoint.
Think Barry's getting slower?
Well, no. What happened was Reverse Flash had to actually bring him through the
Yeah,
time
he's
portal.
losing his memory, so maybe he's losing the fact that his powers are.
Could be.
Yeah,
And maybe
so-
that was where it started coming into where how I said I wanted to see Flashpoint with no powers.
Right.
I think it's pretty neat how where they go right to when Reverse Flash is trying to kill Barry's mom.
Mm-hmm.
That Barry stops him, but then Reverse Flash now comes in and gets rid of Flash. So it's like Reverse Flash, Flash, Reverse Flash, death.
That I think when we get to season 5, we're gonna see that one scene of Barry's mom dying with like so many speedsters in that one room.
Yeah. Because you
we
even have
go back to that.
Barry goes back to that time so many times that he's hiding in a bedroom and then he's here, then he's there.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that came out of this, where we talk about this being such a great week of television, and there's talk about the crossover episodes.
Yes.
The best thing that came out of this episode of Flash was Reverse Flash telling Barry when he dropped him off in his timeline,
Give it a single.
"I'll be seeing you again, Barry."
Yes.
When we get into quickly, I just want to say in Legends Tomorrow, even though we'll probably talk about it later, it shows Damien Dark with Reverse Flash.
And
which-
we're gonna be talking about this later on in the
Okay,
episode
I'll
here.
tell you then
We're
what
gonna
I-
do that later
I'll
on in
tell
the
you what I
episode.
think, though.
Okay.
Let me just say it. We know Legion of Doom is some of the main
Yep.
villains in Legends of Tomorrow. Reverse Flash says, "I'll see you later, Barry." Is Legion of Doom going to do crossover episodes into
Yeah, we'll be talking about that later
Flash?
because
and
I may
Arrow?
have some news for you.
So that's episode 1.
All right, that's episode 1, which brings me into a small rumor about the whole Flashpoint paradox universe of the Flash right now.
Yeah.
Rumor has that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which we know who he is.
You have to tell me.
I'm not sure he's seen Supernatural,
No.
the new Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, I watch Walking Dead.
He's the villain in that.
Oh, Negan.
Yeah,
Okay.
Negan, yeah.
Yep.
That's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He is very interested in playing Thomas Wayne, the
Ooh.
Batman, in this.
He's got the look.
And-
I always state an actor or actress has to have the look, and his look
Yep.
as Negan in Walking Dead would play a great Thomas Wayne.
He and CW is really in the works for this, and I think we may see it.
Thank you,
Just
CW.
might see it.
I'm loving CW.
Let's do it with the Arrow, huh, man?
Yeah.
Because we are... Time's flying by today. Arrow started off in a great way. I really enjoyed the way it started off. A lot better than the way it ended last season, right? It was more dark and gritty. The Arrow that I really liked before, you know? So far, we have 2 villains introduced in the show itself.
Show starts 5 months after the killing of Damien Dark.
Yes, it does. So far, we have the 2 villains being introduced in the episode so far. Tiberius Church,
Yep.
which is just a crime lord, and then a new archer named Prometheus.
Which we don't learn until episode 2.
He was
His
quickly... Yes, his name wasn't in it,
We
but...
knew who it was, we just didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was in the final scene
My
of the first episode.
favorite thing with Tobias Church, too, is played by Chad Coleman, formerly known as Tyrese from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I love that.
Yep. What do you think about Oliver's new team? Him going solo first, and then Felicity talk him into, you need to get a new team going.
Am I the only one that figured out the training for his new team? Where he's like, ring the bell. And they're all going at him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to...
It's a teamwork.
it's supposed
yeah.
to be a teamwork challenge. You only can get by him with teamwork.
Yep.
I'm like, come on.
No, I am smashing Arrow's episode, the first episode and the second episode together.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Is what I'm doing right now because the first episode, not much to go on. All the exciting stuff happened in the second episode, so we're just going to mash them together right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see Speedy still hanging around, just not as Speedy. You know, she's like the right-hand man of the mayor right now, which is a good spot for her right now. So we don't take her off the show, which I enjoy. What do you think about Diggle? What his situation?
Oh, it's hard to talk about it right now because we only got a small portion out of it. But to me, I'm thinking, how's he going to get out? What's going to happen? Because obviously, he might get court-martialed. He might go to jail, something, because he's being framed for being a terrorist.
Right.
Do you see Argus getting him somehow? Maybe.
Maybe Green Arrow breaks him out. I don't know. Who knows what's gonna go
Maybe
on?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. The problem is with the whole Diggle saga right now, we need a little bit more information
Yeah.
of what's going to happen.
But so far, I like where he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good spot. You go back in the army, you know? It's a good spot for him.
Yep.
Oh, how about, who else am I missing?
You have Felicity. She's got a new boyfriend.
Yes, a secret boyfriend at that.
Mm-hmm. Works for the
Police station.
police station.
Yep.
So that's going on. How is that her relationship with this new guy and her old relationship with Oliver gonna happen?
Yes.
I kind of see a little love triangle happening.
You think so?
Oh yeah, she's still got feelings for Oliver.
Oh yeah.
And Oliver's nutso over her for
Yep.
So I see that happening. How long do you see it being though till we see these new trainees getting their code names? Wild Dog. The thing with Wild Dog is, I don't know if he's going to become the new Speedy, and if then when Roy Harper comes back, being called Arsenal. Because in the comics, Wild Dog has his own comic, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So I don't see that happening.
No,
And how long is it going to take for Evelyn Sharp to become Artemis?
Right.
Because we saw her at the end of season 4 taking some of Black Canary's stuff and pretending to be Black Canary.
I think it might be towards the middle of the season, if not the end of the season. I think they're gonna drag this out. I don't think it's gonna happen all at once.
My biggest stumper right now is, who's Curtis going to become?
I think Curtis is just gonna train. He's not gonna go on the field.
No.
I think he just wants to learn how to protect himself.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be the new techie. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, when's the last time we saw Big Death in the show?
We haven't, besides a villain.
Tommy was the last Big Death in the show.
No, Laurel.
Laurel, yeah. Oh, I guess that theory wouldn't work. Like, maybe we're gonna see another Big Death in this season, but yeah, Laurel just died last season, so maybe not. So I'm thinking, maybe Felicity's gonna be jumping ship somewhere, you know, but I don't know. I don't want to see Curtis leave. I like Curtis as a character, but I'm not sure where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah, because I really see Felicity staying a while, being the whole watchtower kind of thing person.
Right.
So,
I mean, like I said, not much going on in Air except that it's gone darker. It's gone deeper into more of Oliver's back with the Russians. You know,
the whole background thing is pretty neat because the whole Russian gang, when Oliver was in Russia, backstory is huge, I believe, in the comics.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat seeing that portray.
Right.
Because the guy who's helping him, I didn't realize till I was watching some older episodes, he met on Lijian Route, the island. It was one of the guys he saved from Slate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, there we go. Now I remember.
Yep.
So,
which would be really nice to see where Arrow is going to take us throughout the season, you know? If this new team is even going to work out, old team comes back, who knows what's going to happen.
For the villain thing, at the end of episode 2, we saw Prometheus attacking Tobias Church, saying that he's the one who's going to kill Green Arrow. Do you see Tobias Church becoming more of a lackey now? Maybe being Prometheus's lackey instead of having two main villains? We have the one with his sidekick.
Maybe a fourth lackey.
Okay.
I mean, we could see at the end Church killing Prometheus at the end, you know? Who knows? I mean, that's what I love about these CW shows and Arrow. They take you in different directions.
Yeah.
You just don't know what to think.
Sure.
You know, but a little off topic, Kevin Smith has announced that he is be directing a couple of shows.
Yes.
His first Supergirl announcement, he's be directing episode 7, and episode 8 is the giant crossover episode.
Ooh.
That being up because the cross episode is all the shows together.
Okay.
So now we're gonna find out how Supergirl fits in to the Flarrowverse.
Yes, because she's from a different world.
Exactly.
Whereas Arrow, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow are all the same Earth. And she's like Earth 3.
So we're gonna see the Legends join up with Flash and Arrow.
Yes.
In this episode, and Supergirl coming in somehow. We don't know.
Now, I don't know if you remember this from Arrow. We did have one new character in episode 2 also. Ragman.
Oh yeah, Ragman. Yeah.
Ragman. His backstory is amazing because you have the whole missile when Damien Dark launched the missiles, and Felicity, she couldn't stop one of them, so she sends it to a small town, so less casualties.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's Ragman's town. His father wrapped him in some mystical rags,
Yep.
and he became Ragman. And he's there trying to kill Emmertech, is what it's called.
Yep.
Which is this lady who runs it is working with Church, and Ragman's trying to kill off the hires in Emmertech because they're the ones who built the missile that killed everybody in his family in his hometown. What's great is how Oliver gets him to not want to kill everybody and actually join his team. So we'll have a fifth member of Team Arrow, fifth or sixth.
Right.
And the best part to me was Oliver revealing himself to his trainees, because his trainees left him because they did not trust him.
Which makes sense, right?
This is and like Felicity said, this is what you need. You need to let them trust you like you trusted us. We were your family. They need to become your new family. And that was the ultimate sign of trust for him showing, I'm Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow.
Right.
So, it's a great episode 1 and 2.
It was a great episode 1 too.
Can we go back real quick, though, to Flash? Because we didn't talk about...
episode 2 Flash right now. Let's do that.
There was one thing, I think it happened in one of the Flash episodes, I think it was episode 1 or 2, that I thought was great. I think it was Barry saves this guy and his son, and the father says, we're moving back to Gotham. The city's too dangerous. Yes. I thought that was great. I'm like, you're going to, for one, move back to Gotham? Really? But that's that little Easter egg.
Yep.
We have a Friday open. Are we going to get another show?
Yes. And that other show actually may be Superman. Because there have been talks that they're going to take the Superman from Supergirl, give him his own show, too.
That makes sense, because a lot of the support for this guy as Superman is
we have a few things about Supergirl to talk about. That's one of them. This is Flash, episode 2.
Yes.
Called Paradox.
Yes.
We can see Barry's dad come back.
Well, Jay Garrick, the Flash from Earth 2.
Yes.
It's funny because
Took
now
him right out of the speedster,
out of the time warp.
Yes.
What's funny is, so we learn that things aren't as Barry thinks they are back in his timeline. He thinks everything's back to normal.
Right.
Him and Iris have never started their relationship.
Nope.
You have Joe, who is what was it? Nope, that was something
Joe's
else.
a drunk.
Yes. And Cisco is angry with Barry.
Yep.
For apparently Cisco's brother dies.
Yes.
So he wants Barry to go back in time to save him. He won't do it. And then one of my favorites is, and we learn this when Barry goes to Star City to visit Felicity and tell him the whole story.
Yeah.
John Diggle doesn't have a daughter.
No.
He has a son, which we met in Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1.
Yep.
John Diggle Jr. That's where now the storylines are starting to merge. You think, where's John Diggle Jr. coming in? And thought he had a daughter named Sarah, but when Barry changes the timeline, there you go. Which is awesome. But yeah, so Barry wants to try to reset everything, but Jay Garrett pulls him out. And the whole cup reference is pretty neat. A lot of people are talking about this. How he breaks the cup. And it's the easiest way to figure out the whole timeline thing.
Yeah.
He's like, it's broken. The cup is the timeline. It's broken. You put the piece back in, but the crack is always there. It's never going to be the same.
Nope.
And that was a perfect reference.
Yeah.
And he basically, it's showing Barry, look, you can go back in time, but there's going to be repercussions. You need to be able to live with these repercussions. And he tells everybody about this. I can't change things back. But nobody wants to know exactly what happened. Yeah. How things used to be.
Which is probably a good idea.
Which I don't think's going to last. I think people are going to start thinking things are going to happen. My favorite thing is, at the end when they're leaving Star Labs, is that you show Caitlin, her change.
Yes.
She's becoming Killer Frost.
Yes, Killer Frost coming back.
When is she going to be the villain, though? I see her becoming Killer Frost towards the end of the season, and come season 4, she's one of your main villains.
Yeah.
what'd you think of? So our it's really the main villain in this season, is Dr. Alchemy.
Dr. Alchemy.
Which he gives his story. What he says in the episode is, I am going to give everyone from the Flashpoint, which he knows what the Flashpoint is, their powers. So we're going to have a lot of new metahumans. He gives back Edward Clancy his speed powers. And like, what's neat is...
memories come back too.
Yeah, because they were... all the Flashpoint memories are coming back to all these people. Cisco tells us he's not a metahuman from here, though. He shows no dark matter, which all the metahumans have the dark matter from the particle accelerator exploding. So is he from a different Earth? That thought. It shows too. You have a new CSI agent.
Oh, I wanted to bring this one up.
Who I'm pretty sure isn't he?
His name is Tom Felton
from
he is
Harry
Malfoy
Potter.
from Harry Potter.
I thought.
And he is absolutely a genius.
He's an a-hole too to Barry.
He is a genius actor. I love how they add him to the part.
Do you see him finding out who Barry really is? Because I think it's going to happen.
No, I think we already met Dr. Alchemy. I think it is.
Good thought,
I
right
think it
there.
is. One of the greatest lines I've heard was him. His name is Julian Albert in the show.
Yes.
He would be like, "I hate you, Barry." He had the same line in Harry Potter when he said, "I hate you, Harry."
I never saw that because he figures out that Barry somehow got, because when Dr. Alchemy gives these people their metahuman powers back, they shed a skin like a snake. You shed your human skin, you get your metahuman skin. And Barry stole some of that at a crime scene, and this guy is trying to figure out how he did it, and I think he's like this close. He kind of knows Barry has metahuman powers.
Yeah. But I think he's Dr. Alchemy, honestly.
That is, my thought too is, so Caitlin is becoming Killer Frost. They found 3 or 4 husks, these human skins, and we know one of them is the rivals.
Yep.
We don't know the others. Was one of them Caitlin?
Ooh. Maybe.
Because we don't see Caitlin with powers in Flashpoint, but
Nope.
you never know.
We don't.
So it's getting really good.
Yeah, Boja's getting pretty good. I was getting pretty good. Supergirl. Kicking off in Supergirl was really good.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk too much about it, but there's a few things I want to bring up.
There are a lot of good points in this episode.
One of them, Superman, was phenomenal.
I've been complaining about this guy who's playing Superman, because I feel like Superman should be a little older, not looking the same age as Kara, because there is about a 20-year difference. They do explain that it's because Kryptonians age at a slower rate.
Yeah.
But I don't think you and Kara should look alike, though. I love this guy playing
I think
Superman.
you're just being picky, honestly. I mean, he could be older, and he could still look young.
He did a great job, though. I'll
He did
give it credit.
phenomenal job.
He did. It was. I'm liking the Superman part. Everyone has their one little nitpick, and that's mine. But other than that,
The tension between him and Martian Manhunter was awesome.
which they explain, which is great.
Yep.
The whole kryptonite thing, where John Jones kept some, but Clark wants to destroy it. I mean, that's the whole reason we haven't apparently seen Clark, because him and John are feuding.
Yes.
Which is funny because in Justice League, in all the animations, Superman and John are like best buds.
I think you're going to see it again.
Yep.
You're going to see it again. One of the biggest things I took out of this was the hints of Lex Luthor maybe coming in an appearance sometime in this season.
Yes.
We met her sister through the episode. What do you think? We're going to see Lex?
We're seeing Lex in the second half of Supergirl.
Yeah.
We are. Because Superman isn't going to be in every episode. He's going to be in, I know, episode 2, and they said I think there's like 4 or 5 episodes total. So he could come back in the second half.
Right.
And that's where Lex comes in. And like you said, if maybe that Friday is going to be a Superman show, there's your villain.
That'd be awesome.
So I do see it happening, because it is. It's Lex who was sending the assassin to kill his sister off. So, yeah.
And one of my favorite parts, at the end of the episode, we might have seen our villain for the season. Metallo.
Yes.
How cool is
Did
that?
my research on him.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yep. If nobody out there knows who Metallo is, he is Superman villain.
Yep.
He
He's a giant skeleton with kryptonite in his chest.
exactly, and that's what they showed glowing at the end. Project Katniss is the one who's taking care of, who's changing him, which we learned in season 1 of, I believe. I don't remember the whole details about it, but my thing is, who's this unnamed woman who was giving Metallo his powers at the end?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be portraying a big character in this. So, other things that came out of it real quick. Kara decides Cat gives her the choice of any position at Catco, and she decides to be a reporter like Clark.
Why not, right?
Yeah, and it makes sense. So, her and Jimmy also decide not to date. Let's just be friends. Armin actually posted this. Sorry, it might be a spoiler to you unless you've already seen it. We see Jimmy Olsen's character developing in a picture as the
Guardian.
Yeah, the Guardian.
I was going to bring that up in a second.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, so.
You really see the Guardian. I've seen the Guardian most on Young
Justice, yes.
Is where I've seen him the most.
Yeah.
So I don't really know much about the Guardian at all.
Yeah, because he doesn't have superpowers, I don't believe, right? He's just.
Yeah, I think he's just. I'm not sure how they're going to bring Jimmy Olsen into the Guardian position.
My problem is with it. Have you seen the poster of him in the Guardian? It's too much, I think. Like, I understand the Guardian has the helmet and stuff and a little bit of body armor, but he just looks like a steel box.
Yeah.
I mean, you barely can see his eyes and everything. It's just.
We'll see what happens, see what goes on with that. I don't really know.
It starts off, though, we never got to this. Supergirl season 1, where it ends, it begins in season 2. The pod.
Yeah.
Who is in the pod? We don't know, but who do you... we know it's...
We know it's someone from Krypton.
Yeah,
Krypton,
we know it's a mysterious man. But neither Kara nor Clark know who he is. Any thoughts who it might be? Who we might be getting in the series?
Not really. I don't really know where they could go with this at all. Because we don't know much information yet. I mean, could it be some form of Superboy? I don't know. Because Superboy is really a clone. So
Could it be, which I hope it's not, something to do with Zod?
maybe.
I don't want to see it, though. It's like we talk about Batman with the whole killing of his parents all the time. Or Superman killing all this stuff.
Yep.
Killing of Jonathan. We've seen it so many times. Do we need to see it again?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm really hoping that's not it. It might just be some made-up character they're doing for the show.
Maybe.
For me, they need to bring back also Red Torpedo in season 2. We don't know what happens. All he does is fly.
Red Tornado?
Yeah, Red Tornado. Yeah,
Red Torpedo.
Torpedo, yeah. We need something more with that.
Yes.
And Dean Cain's character is going to come back sometime soon.
Oh, that's going to be great. I can't wait until they continue that storyline. That's going to be a fantastic one.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we've covered just about everything in Supergirl there.
I think so, too.
I want to get, out of 5 stars, where's Supergirl for you? Let's quickly, before we get to Legends of Tomorrow real quick, I want to rank these shows so far.
Rank these shows so far?
Yeah. Where out of all the seasons, so you got 5, 4, 1, and 1, would you give them out of 5 stars each season, each series?
I'm going to give Flash 4 stars right now.
4 stars?
Yep.
I give Flash a 5 because it's given me everything I've wanted. I give Arrow a 4.
Yep.
It's had its ups and downs. Mainly the League of Assassins season.
Yeah.
So, Arrow for you?
Arrow is a 4, yeah.
4?
It's almost 3. They're climbing back out of this hole they were in.
Okay.
You know, they were doing pretty bad last season. They lost a lot of fan base. They need a lot of growing to do, and I think this season's going to do it. Right now, it's going to be like a 3-4. You know?
Yeah, because to me, like I've stated before online, season 2 with Slade Wilson, that's my best season out of it, and it might be they put that season too early.
Maybe.
Because all of a sudden, for your second season, you just went,
Yep.
and then you just went back. So,
Yep.
I kind of think maybe a Flash I'll give a 4.5, reverse my 5. Maybe it's just because I love it so much.
There's some stuff that you wanted to see, though, and you already admitted to that.
It's probably because I've been so excited over it. Supergirl for me, I give it a 3.5. Season 1.
Really?
Yes. There are some things where I'm like, eh.
That show gets a 5 for me.
5 for you?
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this because it's Supergirl. I'm not a big Superman fan.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Supergirl fan, but these guys know how to write this show.
And that's where I'm thinking it's going to get better because it was CBS, now it's CW.
Yeah.
Legends, solid 4.
Yep.
Great first season. They showed so much. Where at the end with the Justice League of Society, they did Jonah Hex episode, everything. Great. So,
Beginning of season 2, what'd you think?
it was weird in the beginning because you had this new historian guy going ahead and talking to Oliver to try to find the Wave Rider. I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened? And they explain the
But why Oliver?
because he's got the resources.
Think he's got the resources?
He doesn't know he's Green Arrow though. He just knows billionaire guy. So
No, he knew he was Green Arrow. He mentioned it in the office.
oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah,
And maybe
yeah.
well, he knows then about.
I mean, he's a historian. He's
well,
from the future.
He knows then about Sarah and
mean,
their involvement with
Why
Oliver. a
would
lot.
he just go to Star Labs?
I don't know.
You know?
This is where Oliver interacts in every all these series.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah. So, they were told by, I forgot the guy in the Justice League of Society at the end of season 1.
Let's break this episode down real quick because we are running out of time.
Yes.
Pretty much the whole point of this episode is that the Nazis teamed up with Damien Dark
Yep.
to kidnap Albert Einstein, to get the technology for an atom bomb, to blow up New York.
Yes, which they did.
That was the premise of this whole episode.
Yes.
In the Legends, all had to get scattered to different times to save themselves because they put the Wave Rider in front of the atom bomb.
Exactly.
You know? So that's the whole premise of this episode. It was a good start.
Yeah, because they were told, don't go to this timeline because you will die.
Yeah.
By, I forgot the guy in the Justice League of Society
Yep.
at the end of season 1, his name. Yeah, so this historian, though, they wake up, it's, what's the fire guy's name?
Firestorm?
No, Firestorm, the one with the gun. Captain Cold's little
Heatwave.
Heatwave. I forget his name, though, his regular name. He's woken up inside the Wave Rider. He was
Yes.
put on stasis, and they end up going back. He tells the whole story, which is great. And they literally go back in all these different times to find everybody, but the only one they can't find is Rip.
Yes.
Is this the end of Rip, or is Rip going to be found somewhere?
He's being Phantomers.
Yeah. I thought to myself, I'm hoping it's not the end because I love Rip Hunter's character.
I think we're gonna see Booster Gold in this season.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
The end of the episode was the best because when they're in 1942 and they stop the Nazis and Damien Dark, they're like, okay, let's go and do more work, and they're stopped by by a lot of the Justice League of Society members.
Yes.
Which, if you have a time travel in there, wouldn't you know maybe who these people are? They kind of like the Justice League of Society thinks they're villains almost.
Yeah.
Well, you sent someone back to tell them about this. Wouldn't you actually know who they are?
Probably never met him. Never seen their face.
I know
Who
for
knows?
me, I have to do more studying on the Justice League of Society. I only know a small fraction,
Right.
but a lot of people are excited about this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm excited for the Legion of Doom showing up.
Yep.
So, like we were saying, the Legion of Doom. So we saw it's Eobard Reverse Flash, Damien Dark. It's going to be Captain Cold. We're getting back, and
Yep.
Malcolm Merlin.
Yep.
So, are they going though to finish up? Is the Legion of Doom going to be a group of villains that goes to different series?
It's possible. It's possible. You have to find out. Stick with us because every episode we are going to touch up on the Flarrowverse even more because as it picks up throughout the season.
Yep.
Andy, we're out of time.
I know, unfortunately. Our next episode, though, will be our Halloween episode.
Ooh.
So a little
Are you all dressing up, huh?
kind of
cosplaying here.
episode. Don't forget, though, subscribe to our YouTube page at Legends of the Nerds and watch this episode and every other episode. Don't forget to visit us on Facebook where you can watch these episodes. And we like to post some other things up on there. We've been doing a little thing.
Once in a while.
Yep. Follow this guy over here on the Twitter
On the Twitter.
at Krillin Man. And like I said,
You can watch us live.
I know, we're Facebook Live.
We're Facebook Live.
So, like I said, episode 50 coming up soon. hold on to your seats because it's going to be a great episode at the end of the year. And thank you for joining us. And remember, stay nerdy.